I got trees to plant. I was going to put a row along here, and then another row, maybe 3 rows, I don't know, but I wanted to go all the way around the corner behind that tree after I limit up some, come down along the edge here, past where really not going to do anything down there. They're all pine trees. Got 2 different types. If I can get half of these to catch, I'd be happy. But I went to the Arkansas Forestry Department, ordered myself 500 advanced generation shortleaf pine, and then down there yet in the cooler 500 loblolly, I don't know what they are, not 3-star, I think that's what they call them. These are advanced generation shortleaf pine, and the other were loblolly, I think they're star 3 or 3-star loblolly, something like that. Obviously 500 in a tiny little bag is not a lot of big trees. They're supposed to be somewhere between 12 and 14 inches tall. They say to take a spade shovel. They had a specific tool, but they said take a spade shovel, shove it in the ground, shove the spade shovel in the ground, wedge forward, drop the seedling, smush the dirt back over, do it over and over and over. Plant your trees in a line. Or you buy that fancy machine you see online that the guy drives and the guy sits in the back and just keeps dropping the seedlings in a little hole as the machine does all the work. A, I don't have that machine, and I'm sure it's probably millions of dollars. B, I don't have one of the shovels. C, even if I did, welcome to Arkansas. Chances of shoving that shovel into this rock and getting a good push for a clean hole, very slim. I'm going to jam this guy in here, wiggle it around, obviously 2 hands so I get a little deeper hole, end up with a hole in the ground, drop a seedling in there and kind of mush it back shut, and then dump a little bit of water from the bucket on there. After maybe I'll do 10 or 20 at a time, and then I'm going to hope the deer don't come by and help me mow all these freshly planted trees, because by the time I'm done with this thing, my arms are probably going to look like Popeye and I just ate my spinach. No idea how many trees that was. I do know barely made a dent in my supply. Didn't quite work as easy as I was hoping, and my wife pointed it out to me whenever I ordered 1,000 trees to plant by myself, which I knew was unrealistic, but the forestry service prices were so cheap and that was the bundles I could get. So a couple of those holes, I think like 4 of them, have 2 trees because they were smaller. But essentially where I'm at is jam this thing in the ground a few times, wiggle it around. These tree roots are just crazy. I was not, see, this is, look at that, if you can see this. Hold it up in the sky, but look at those tree roots. So I will give Arkansas Forestry Division kudos for these saplings. The real use of these is for like paper mills and whatnot, where they clear cut a giant field and then have to replant 10,000 trees. Not really intended for people like me that are just trying to get some pine trees back after the people you bought the property off of clear cut everything to get more beer money. So anyway, it's working, but now I'm to my almost to, see I'm right here at this post, almost to my next disappointment factor. This was one of the places I had hog damage, and my line of trees is going to go right through the middle of this. As many trees as I have, just go right through the middle. It's not like I'm short on trees. That bag doesn't look like much, but it is a lot of trees. So I think that's the decision. right smack dab through the middle of the hog damage, just to keep my cadence, and then revisit later. Well, sun is setting, and I would like to go get a video of that, just to have one, because it's a beautiful day. Finished 2 rows. That's straight-ish. People that aren't red-green colorblind, not pointing fingers anywhere, can probably see the pine trees. The little tiny saplings. I am insanely impressed by the roots that are on these things. I don't know how the Forestry Service does it, but wow. The tree tube, boop, 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 I don't know, right there. From the T-post, my little homemade wood from the other video. Rebar T-post. I'll have to somehow mark these, maybe paint them yellow, I don't know. But from this T-post up to that tree tube that's on my planter stick, that's 1 row. When we step down, I tried to keep it 10 foot from this T-post up to, you see the bucket way off there. That's on top of another one of my fancy T-posts. I think I'm gonna go grab a tomorrow when I come up. Bring a rattle can of yellow paint. See if I can't make these things a little more distinguishable. I have no idea how many trees that is. Started planting 2 per hole because I got a crap load of trees. And they're going farther than I thought they would. So tomorrow we will continue the endeavor. I'm going to stop right here because if I continue my run, the orientation I was planning on it, as I come up, once the Ventrax back, I have faith it will be back soon, and go down and come up and go down, I'm going to mow over everything I plant. So we're going to stop here and continue the other direction and see how many trees we use up. Now these first 2 are rows of advanced generation shortleaf pine. Then I'm going to go 10 feet downhill and do a row of 3-star, 3-star, or 3rd generation, whatever they call it, loblollies. Shortleaf, go 10 feet up, loblolly. So it'll be loblolly, shortleaf, loblolly. Not exactly what my wife and I had worked out, but timelines also aren't exactly what we planned on. Things aren't working the way we had anticipated. It took longer for Ventrax to be delivered, and then it broke shortly after we got it, so we're making do. And you know what? These trees, I'm planting them denser than we had talked about, but you know what? We'll cut down the ones we want to, if we need to. And that's where we are at the end of the day today.